good day to you.
Come right in. Come right in.
Come to see the house.
Oh, good day, sir.
How are you all this fine day?
We're doing well.
Good.
Doing well.
Well, welcome Parson John and Maggie to Sabine Hill, the home of the Taylor family, here in the Happy Valley community of Carter County, Tennessee. We want to show you around, tell you about the history of the house.
Thank you very much. We look forward to it.
Yeah, come on into the west room. Here we'll kind of get you oriented to the site just a little bit, and we start off by talking about General Nathaniel Taylor. Nathaniel Taylor was only 7 years old when he came to the frontier of North Carolina with his father, Andrew Taylor. And they settled here in what was called the Watauga Settlement at the time. His father, Andrew, and his two older brothers, Andrew and Isaac, fought at the famed Battle of Kings Mountain. Nathaniel was too young to fight in the Revolutionary War. But he soon rose in prominence both in civil and military affairs here in the community, owned many businesses, served as the first sheriff of Carter County. When it was established in 1796, he was elected to both houses of the Tennessee State Legislature, ran several businesses here in the community, was the largest slaveholder in Carter County in the early 19th century, and was a brigadier general during the War of 1812 for the Tennessee militia. He actually helped defend the port of Mobile, Alabama during the war under the command of course, Andrew Jackson. A lot of accounts say that he was at the Battle of New Orleans, that is not true. He was not at the Battle of New Orleans. Had he been in a large-scale battle during the War of 1812, we could have been welcoming visitors to President Taylor's home, because we tend to elect war heroes to the presidency in this country. Of course, that distinction went to Andrew Jackson and the Battle of New Orleans. Nathaniel Taylor sadly contracted malaria during his service in Mobile, and he died in 1816, the year after the war ended. So Nathaniel Taylor may have began construction on this house in 1811. Of course, the war halted that in 1812, and he never saw the home's completion when he died in 1816. His widow, Mary, used his war pension and his military service pay to complete this house. The name Sabine Hill may be related to Sabine Hall, which is a Carter family home in Virginia. The Taylors and the Carters had long been connected, both through business and intermarriage, and so that proved true even here in this community. Nathaniel's son married the daughter of Landon and Elizabeth Carter, for whom Carter County and Elizabethon are named. So that tradition continued. So they could have derived the name Sabine Hill from their connections to the Carters. This house has been referred to by architectural historians as one of the finest examples of wood frame federal architecture in the state of Tennessee. And so here in the great room, or what is simply referred to as the West Room in Mary's will, is probably one of the most ornate rooms in the house. And as far as original features go, it probably has the most original pieces of woodwork in the house. That includes the ceiling, which retains the original blue paint color, of course darkened over the years with smoke and soot from the fireplace. The crown molding is original, the window frames. The mantle is also original in this room. It has been repainted to recreate the false marbling that was painted onto the wood to make it look like marble. This is a very common feature in that day, to have false marbleized wood throughout your house. And here you can see this image where there would have been probably a plaster applique applied to the mantle there in the shape of an urn, which is a typical federal style motif during that time.
That would be similar to the plaster castings that Jefferson did at Monticello.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, same process. And here in this little window here, we have left the original paint color that, of course, has been darkened over the years, but you can see the faint marbling in the paint there. and that's the same technique that was used to recreate that
Do I
effect.
see some writing there?
You do, yeah. And so we worked meticulously with a paint specialist, of course, to recreate these images throughout the house. The wainscoting below the chair rail is original, and it is the original finish as well. Cheap wood painted to look expensive. Painted in what's called a crotch grain mahogany with gold inlay. This would have been an absolutely beautiful room. It was brand new. We'll talk a little bit more about the wallpaper in other rooms in the house. This, of course, is the dining room where the family would enjoy their meals and entertain guests. The food, of course, would have been prepared in the separate kitchen, and like so many historic sites that have separate kitchens, this was done to ensure